I would say that Zimbabwe is one of those countries with a lot of intellectual capital, but I think it is dead capital at the moment. Most of the way that it is finding expression or it is finding form is in the form of uh, blog posting on Facebook, on Twitter, microblogging. So basically, we are blogging a lot. We even have bloggers, but I think we don't have enough people just talking the way I'm talking now. I think we need more people talking because that is going to open up new forms of communication, new forms of sharing that intellectual capital. We pride ourselves as being pretty educated, an educated nation. What that means is open to debate. We know that the literacy rate is quite high compared to other African countries, but as we have seen, that does not necessarily translate into economic prosperity for the country. But I think, this is what I think that we are not doing enough to then use that intellectual capital to good effect. So if we had more people talking like the way I'm doing now, then we could have people who are specialists in different areas leading the debate in the various issues. You'd be surprised that as a physicist, I'm actually leading some of the debates, economic debates, for example, when all I know about economics is from the books that I've read out of interest and not because I've needed it to do my job. Okay, so to do my job, I've not needed to read economics, although I see why it's important for everyone to understand economics, at least at the basic level, because it helps them to put into context their own work, their own area of specialism. They are able to put it in the context of economic growth and development, because ultimately everything we're doing should be geared towards driving economic growth and development. So perhaps your area of specialization, specialism is actually also an economic driver, but you're just not aware how you can do more in your area of specialism to drive economic growth and development. So your language changes when you've done a bit of reading outside of your own area of comfort. I think it's important to become uncomfortable delving into other areas. If you look at the history of education, for example, if you look at people like Leonardo da Vinci was a physicist, he was a biologist, he was an astronomer, he was an artist, he was many things all in one, because that's what they did. They explored everything, and they ended up specializing in many different areas, whereas we've been taught to focus on one thing, I think, which is a good thing still, because if you focus on medicine and I focus on engineering, then we can each contribute to society in our own special way, and that the whole of society benefits, because the engineer needs to be treated by a medical doctor, and the medical doctor need to cross a bridge in order to go to work to save lives, and that work is being done by engineers. Okay, so I think there is a lot that Zimbabweans can talk about, and I'd like to encourage them. In fact, I would like to be so bad at explaining, say, economics or medicine or any other area. I want to be so bad that people want to do the talking themselves, because they think this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, but I'm gonna say what I think, and it's up to you to then come up with something more credible if you believe that what I'm talking about is not spot on. Okay, so bring it on, Zimbabweans. You say you're educated, but look at the economy. And I think that instead of focusing on just the rejuvenation of industry to employ people, let's look at other ways. Let's look at the service industry. Let's look at the intellectual industry, for example. The knowledge economy, that's the word I'm looking for. You see, because I'm not an economist, some of these words, I have to bring them back. And maybe, perhaps, through talking a lot, I'm actually going to end up being the person who actually becomes an authority, and you don't want that. So please, can we stop talking? Stop this WhatsApp obsession. We are obsessed with WhatsApp, texting, writing long replies, comments, and all that. But that is not going to contribute to the intellectual or to the knowledge economy of Zimbabwe. So let's start talking. Let's talk on Facebook, not just typing. There's Facebook Live. You can just do a video like I'm doing now and then post it later. Let's talk on Twitter. There's Periscope on Twitter. Let's talk on YouTube. I'm going to post this on YouTube and probably on Facebook as well. Probably on my page and on my Facebook wall and on my group. I've opened a group as well under my name. And there's Instagram. Let's talk on Instagram. Let's talk on what should we call this one? Snapchat. Let's talk on musical.ly or .ly or Musical.ly. Let's talk on SoundCloud. If you're a musician, please make sure you are producing music every day and putting it out on Instagram, on SoundCloud, on musical.ly, okay, even on Facebook, even on Instagram. Put the music out there. If you don't produce music, then you're not a musician. Okay, if you think you're a musician, then you need to produce content. If you think you're a blogger, then you need to write every day. If you think you're a YouTuber, then you need to produce videos every day. If you don't produce videos every day, people are going to stop listening because they want content. They want you to keep talking. Okay, so start talking and improve our intellectual capital. Let's improve the knowledge economy. I think there's a lot that we can learn. I've written a blog post entitled How to Make Money on YouTube. You can find it on my Facebook page. Go on that one and just read through some of the advice that I've given on how you can actually a step-by-step guide on how you can make money on YouTube using your talking skills, your graphic skills. You can do screencasts. If you don't like talking, you can just do a screencast and put music in the background, and that'll get people watching. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now. Intellectual capital. Please start talking.